Get back now to our breaking news. Joining me now to discuss it is Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell of California. He is a member of both the Intelligence Committee and the Judiciary Committee. So I want to begin, Congressman, with your reaction to this report from Jim Sciutto that former Trump campaign aide Carter Page has fired off a letter to the Senate Intelligence Committee after their request for details about his communications. What do you think of this letter and where this goes from here?
Good evening, Brianna. And this is behavior that is consistent with what we've seen in the past from Carter Page. And I also think you can often learn how an individual acts after they're being investigated can tell you whether you're investigating the right person. So why do we care about Carter Page? Well, Donald Trump named him as a senior foreign policy advisor. We know from reports that the FBI was investigating him years ago for working with the Russians, and despite being told that they were trying to recruit him, during the 2016 election, he goes over to Moscow with permission of the campaign 1 month after it's revealed that Russia's interfering in our elections. So we want to hear from Carter Page, but you can never get a straight answer out of this guy.
Do you believe that this is something more than just coziness or inadvertent contact? Do you believe that there's fire here?
Yes, I do. And I have seen the evidence on the unclassified and classified side. And I think the best we can do on our committee is to follow that evidence, review all relevant documents, and hear from all relevant witnesses. And let's see if Carter Page really is serious about coming in and answering the tough questions.
What makes you say that? I know some of it's classified, I know some of it's sensitive, but what makes you sure that there is collusion?
Well, it's the evidence that I've reviewed on the classified side, but also, Brianna, you don't have to be a lawyer and you don't have to have access to classified information to see the behavior of people like Carter Page. Also, Roger Stone, who told the world months before John Podesta's emails were released that John Podesta was about to spend his time in the barrel. That's information we now know he received while he was communicating with Guccifer 2.0, who received the hacked Democratic Party emails. So also, Brianna, there's what we call consciousness of guilt behavior, and this is individuals who denied having meetings with the Russians and then when confronted finally had to fess up or step aside, like General Michael Flynn, who had talked to the Russian ambassador and lied to the vice president about it. And then, of course, our attorney general, twice asked by the Senate if he'd ever met the Russian ambassador or anyone with the Russian government. He said no, and then when it was later learned that he had, he said that he had just been forgetful. These do not appear to be coincidences. They appear to be a convergence.
I want to ask you about FBI Director Jim Comey, because he testified during a closed hearing this week, and I wonder how you're feeling about the progress that the FBI is making after you heard his testimony.
I'm comfortable that they're making progress and that our committee now is back on track and that we're making progress. I just wanted to make sure that the FBI had all the resources they need to trace down and track down any evidence that's out there, and I'm comfortable that right now, where they are, that they have what they need.
So it sounds like you are feeling obviously much better about the situation with the House Intelligence Committee. Of course, the chairman, Nunes, stepped down. How are you feeling about the leadership of Congressman Conway?
I have a lot of confidence in Congressman Conway, and I expressed to him that we want to follow the evidence wherever it takes us, but also make sure that we reclaim our independence, credibility, and ability to show progress. And he's a CPA, so he knows how to work on a deadline, and I hope that we can get to the American people as much information about what happened, whether any U.S. persons were responsible. And Brianna, I think what Americans really expect from us is an assurance that we're never going to find ourselves in a mess like this again. So we have to put reforms in place to prevent that.
Real quick, the Senate, it sounds like the Senate Intel Committee is open to issuing subpoenas when we're talking about Carter Page's records. Is the House Committee prepared to?
It's always better if witnesses come in voluntarily, but if they do not, I know that both sides are committed to getting to the bottom of what happened. So yes, we will get to the truth as fast and as forceful as we need to.
All right, Congressman Swalwell, stay with me. We actually have a lot more to talk about this repeal and replace bill passed in the House of Representatives. We'll talk about that in just a moment.